Read the disclaimer. Hello everyone, welcome to the Weekend Review, where we recap the previous week and anything extra. So this week was a little bit eventful, simply because we got quite a bit of stuff for the November release information and a bunch of that other stuff. So that'll be kind of our main discussion for our live today, but we'll first go over to our little recap. So the entire week, like I pretty much said originally, our whole plan was basically just to do like all these reviews and everything. So our whole content for this week was essentially a lot of reviews. Wednesday we did some battles and all that stuff. We did Thursday, the big set and everything. I've been very busy with a lot of IRL stuff, so I've been somehow managing to live and still do videos, so that's at least nice. Okay, we got meta for a second because I thought I just cut to myself. But yeah, there's like the manga review stuff there. And now we're almost pretty meta now, because now that's also me there. Okay, and then after there's like the Rhino stuff. And all the pictures and all that stuff and all that gimmicks. So obviously, you know, we got to throw in that plug for mallbays.com, because until the end of October, Beyblade Burst is 15% off automatically on checkout. All the Beyblade X stuff is normal. We have restocked on Viper Tail. We have plenty of Leon Claw. We have quite a bit of string launchers. The sets, even though the set is absolutely terrible to import, we have a bunch of sets also there too, with pretty good deal of like 2 grips, which I think is pretty fair. And yeah, that's kind of it. Just some general stuff, just some general updates on the store. I think I mentioned this on the original news video, but I'll kind of mention this again. I don't know if I'll go over it every single week, but obviously because of the situation that my father passed away in August, it's obviously been a little bit difficult to kind of make these trips from Canada to the US to ship from the US. So we'll do our best with the US orders. So if Canada is like typically Tuesday, Wednesday, US stuff should be shipped Wednesday, Friday, assuming the date of release is like a Saturday. And yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, I don't really like to talk about it too much, because then I won't be able to continue the rest of this stream. But some other stuff. We did a community tab post for some future of the ZANKYE stuff. So obviously, I do want to continue it just because of the fact that it was an original idea. We wanted to connect with the community, talk about Beyblade stuff, something nice that to have for the channel. And, you know, it's kind of hard to do every single week, because obviously it depends on what new information is out there. But check out the community tab post after this stream. If you have any topic suggestions for Beyblade related stuff, whatever, let me know, and I'll try to do my best to kind of continue that. But that is the plan, to keep it going and to keep those discussions there. Recently we did Beyblade X Partware, and I can't remember what we did before that, but you can check it out. Now also, if you are in Canada and closer to wherever my area is, we do have a Beyblade tournament that we are hosting. So far, about 10 players set up. It is on, I think it's October 28th. Yeah, it's a little bit of a little pun on the thing. The Nightmare Before the King of Beasts. And yeah, I don't know. You can check out the WBO page. If you're in the area and you're able to check it out, I think there's just some admission, but pretty good prizes on there. Yeah, check it out. Check it out. Now, in terms of other general updates, as we are going to be getting along here, basically for a lot of the product info type of stuff, here's basically what we're missing. Hasbro, it's one crappy set that's still left that we still need to do, which is also why I'm holding off on the Quad Strike tier list video, mostly because I don't have any time anymore to be working on that, and I have other projects I really want to do, so that's why it's kind of getting delayed. There's also the Hasbro rent thing, which I'm also waiting until after the final product releases. So the ball's in their park, eh? The ball's in their park. in terms of other stuff for the rest of this year, it's just Beyblade X releases. So for Takara we have November, 3 releases, December, a bunch of releases, which I think they move stuff around, but waiting for 100% from November, even though the source I have is pretty trusted for that info. I do believe December, there is no entry starter planned for it, but we'll see what their final choice is, just because it's been pretty accurate. And aside from that, aside from like the main release stuff, that's kind of it. Because in terms of real info, like for anything new, you're waiting about November 2nd. So you're waiting about 3 weeks, because obviously when the new stuff comes out, we get the teaser for December. I'm hoping, by the way, December's release is going to be early in December. Please, give me a break. Give me a break, eh? Give me a break. Aside from that, I kind of wanted to focus on the discussion of the new base stuff. So we'll kind of have this as a little bit of an extended discussion, just until, you know, some more stuff comes along. But we have Rhino Horn on here, so I'll kind of throw it just to like the chat, you know, kind of what are we thinking of some of the November stuff? What are we thinking of good old Rhino? And yeah, we'll kind of leave it there. I kind of already give. Oh, I'm too far in the corner here. I've kind of already given some of my thoughts. I'm curious, you know, while chatting, we kind of go release by release. The parts on Rhino is 380 spikes, so recycled ratchets, but new bits. Which either way for Beyblade X, you know, with how they're kind of doing the ratchet stuff, since it's basically just the amount of sides, you know, I'm okay, I guess. I only wish we got 660 on the DranDagger. That's the only one I kind of do wish we got something else for it. But it's basically square. I don't know if it'll do what it's intended, because they intend for this to be like pure defense. But I don't know, I feel like it should have some recoil on it, just by the gaps that they have. Usually, when they are designing defense, like, you really do have to kind of make it as round as possible. But I think probably this will be useful, but probably for the same use that Shield has, most likely. I don't think this is even going to be a bad release. I think it's just going to be like, oh, should be fine. If it ends up being even better use than what I'm expecting, fair enough. Rhino isn't really anything special, fair enough, but it's nice to see a little release nonetheless. I can agree with that. And, you know, Spike is kind of cool, I guess, which actually, I can go to Spike for a second. Spike is really weird, because at first, I don't know what's the equivalent you'd say. I think it's literally just the same as the Metal Fight Spike, to be honest. That's pretty much what it looks like to me every time, like, I avoid. Every time that I kind of take a look at it, so, you know, I don't know, because it's such a weird thing, because for Needle, we've basically seen, like, a very exaggerated Spike type of shape, so I don't really know. I don't even think it's going to be bad. I think it'll just be okay. I don't know, maybe a mix between Needle and High Needle. If it does the job for defense, honestly, like, I don't know if I'll be able to complain. Do you think Spike will have the same problem as just in Sharp Tips and just like that? The issue with just in some of those tips and bursts, those kind of late game, it's that this type of shape doesn't necessarily work. I mean, Zero G tried to basically say the spikes are not defense because of the stadium context, but, you know, just thinking of like in Beyblade X context, I think it'll work fine. Obviously, I don't think it'll work well for stamina. Godforsaken, no, but I don't know. This should be okay, because I mean, you would think Needle would be garbage, but then it works super well in the stadium, so that's why you always got to be a little bit tricky, eh? I just want gear chips to be swappable. I don't know if they'll ever do that, because the gear chips kind of work with the blade fused together in the design. I don't know if we'd see that. I think Rhino looks better for Stoma. I can't do the French, sorry. How do you feel about the many contact points, even though it's a defense type? I think it'll have the same use as Shield, but I don't think it'll have the intended thing. I think, well, it might be able to be used for defense, but I don't know if it'll be that intended. Like, I feel Wizard Arrow is closer to defense than Rhino Horn is. Would you work at Takara as a product designer if they asked you? I don't think I am qualified for that. I could be there to approve the recolors. That's the most I could do. I feel like the Rhino Bay is way too bumpy for you. I think, because I think we're all in kind of agreements there. Spike reminds me a little bit of High Needle. Fair enough. How many seasons of X do you think they'll have? The answer I have for that is, I don't know. It's selling pretty well right now. I know in a lot of these sites they're selling out like easily, dude. So if they keep on this consistency of popularity and they manage past the second season and still going strong, we could see this as long as potentially burst. But again, this all depends, like the ball's in their park for how they want to do it. So we'll kind of move on to the HellsChain one because unfortunately when I was editing this, it wasn't in order. So you get the unordered thing. Oh, one more. Do you think a smaller tip will have the same problem as Orbrick can easily be knocked off balance? It depends kind of on the shape, though. I'll say potentially, but I don't think by much. I don't think by much. You play the Roblox events yet? No. I have good reason for it. One, I saw a friend play it, and I thought that's not for me. Two, I've been too busy with a lot of IRL stuff, which actually, on this comment here, from our top hats fella, I am almost got all the testings done for Viper Tail and Leon Claw. Obviously, I got a lot of assignment work and a lot of studying to do through very much this weekend and all that stuff, and a lot of other stuff balancing with IRL stuff, so I'm trying to manage the best that I can, my friend, so I will try to get those out next 3 days or so. But we'll go over this one. Now, I got to double check which one's in this set. The HellsChain one has Wizard Arrow on 480 needle, and okay, and this is the Piss Lance on 360 low flat. I have no offense, by the way, to that lance. I just think it should have been more purple. Because I know they're trying to do the Wizard Arrow colors, but I don't know if it works. But we'll first go over HellsChain. So, okay, I'm gonna be honest right now. This render right here, like when you see it kind of like almost front facing, like it looks kind of normal. This feels so weird when you look at like the side renders. I don't know, it just looks very goofy, but I don't know. But HellsChain. So basically what HellsChain is kind of weird because they did the thing that they do, which I'm not too crazy on, which is they slap a gap on it. No, obviously when they slap a gap, it's for balancing reasons. Viper Tail has it, and I can say it's fair that they did that. What are really bad ones? Lance has it, which also I could say that is pretty fair. This one's also going to be a little bit tricky. It's going to be a little bit tricky. But I think I don't know. It's going to be a little bit tough because of that gap and everything. I'm just thinking how it slams. Because the idea is it's supposed to have two different layers. One where the metal is on top and kind of one where it's a little bit placed below it. So the idea of that should be for defense, because it's taller, it's going to be hitting the top part of like the chain. And you should be able to defend well, which I can maybe see, or on lower height attack, which kind of makes sense. I do potentially think part of this description, maybe I don't want to say inaccurate, but probably also is just designed for the advertisement of this set, because obviously the entire set has a defense setup and has an attack setup, so it kind of would make sense. I also got to say, in terms of visually, I do love these variants. I thought Lance was really awesome. Where am I? I thought Lance was really cool for the color choice, and I also think the same for both of these here. I kind of prefer it over the original colors, to be honest, and I also really prefer the gear bits, I don't know, whatever, the sticker design on HellsChain over the original one. The original one was not bad, but I'll say I didn't like the highlights on the skull. This one has no highlights on it, so it already gets a win for me. 560, I've done the testings. I think it's going to be a staple for a ratchet, not just for weights, just because it's so rounded off. It seems pretty solid. High taper, I don't know. It should be fine, I guess. It should be fine. Like, regular taper's already pretty much good, right? So high taper should just be more or less the same. I think the only difference is if taper's like this, high taper is a little bit more pushed out like a cone shape. So Should be fine. Should be fine. Like, should pretty much just be used the same. Which I am now fearful that they will actually do high flats. And I do not... I don't want high flats. I don't want to see high flats. Takara if Takara watches these things, if some guy suggests high flats on like a main bay, don't do it. Somebody also said there's a highlight, but it's on the horn. That is not... Okay, yeah, like a teensy bit of a highlight, but come on. Like, the entire bay was like a greasy skull for the first one. This is a little bit better. The Lance one, how are we feeling on the... Now, I do have to also put the disclaimer that these renders suck. These renders do not do any of the bays justice, because my issue with the renders is that... I understand why they did it, because maybe it's for practicality, just for all this posing and stuff, but... It doesn't give, like, an accurate representation. And I think in every single case, if a bay does not look good for the render, it looks a lot better IRL. I prefer IRL. I do not like these renders. But what do we think of this one? I think there's too much yellow. I think either the ratchet should have gotten some yellow, or the bit should... Actually, whoa. It does have yellow. I think the ratchet should have gotten some purple, or maybe the gear bit could have had some purple, or the outer part could have... I don't know. They got to mix it up. I don't like it when they go too dominant on one color. It's too much. It's too much. Well, actually, I can just play it from here, I think. Okay, well... Yeah, there you go. I don't know about this one either. Like, as a recolor, it'll probably look fine. They should have just done purple, though. How does the low flat look again? Actually, I think the low flat's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, you want to know why? Because now... Void. Because now, it can go on with that yellow shark. So I'm okay with that. So now we finally got the So now we figured out the reason why, on the original low flats that were repeated, why they didn't do a yellow one. To complete that recolor. It's my conspiracy for the stream. Okay, next up we gotta get the orange wizard arrow. Okay, now... I feel like Takara told me when they're doing these wizard recolors, it's like they got the hue and saturation and they're just doing like barely. Like, okay, I guess. I don't know, I just would like, now they just gotta complete the color scheme. Honestly... For the multi-bays, they just gotta slap in with all the rainbow colors. You know, they gotta do the pink, they gotta do the purple. I just want to see all of it, you know. If they're gonna go basically now orange, we've got red, we've got like this brownish. Now we've got orange. They gotta be committed now at this. They've gotta be committed. You know, it's Wizard Arrow, right? So I am a little bit curious how it's gonna look. I did like the blue one, by the way. That new blue one, I thought that was the best one they did so far. At least the recolor-wise, this makes much more sense than Lance. At least, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I think I just don't like the bright yellow, because it's also too dominant on orange. Right? Yeah, that's the side of the blade. Isn't it too much orange, though? Because on the... Yeah. And the bitch, too, no? Yeah. It's too... They do it too dominant on the colors. That's why it gets so confusing a lot of times, because, like... They need to balance it more, because I feel like too many recolors for X are like... Obviously, you can like customize it if you have all the parts afterwards, but you know what I mean? It's like... It's too much of like a singular color, like it's orange, orange, orange. Like for this one, they could have thrown in like blue, a blue needle or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm ranting too hard, but... Okay, we're gonna skip along... Okay, now, the DranDagger set did throw me off, because I'm going to expose myself, because when I was recording, right, when I was recording all this stuff, I did not realize that they literally had 2 tall ratchets, both in this set, and I was like, wait, they do? So, DranDagger has 460, Night Shield has 580 taper, and Shark Edge has 380. So many 80s, man. So many 80s. Now, for this one, like we were kind of talking, I think we should have gotten 660. I think that would have made the most amount of sense. Like, I'm going to be honest, they could have just reused 360. 460? I would have been also, okay, you want to know what? You want to know what? You know what they could have done? They could have done... Damn, this kind of gets a little bit tough. They should have done 550 on HellsChain and 560 on DranDagger. Maybe. I don't know. I hate 460. I hate it, bro. But visually, though, the whites definitely does look pretty nice, and I think it's a better shade of blue. This looks very cursed. Someone tried to say, I manipulate. No, that's just how it looks like on, I remember in the original video I did. No, I despise 460, man. Anything, if it ever gets 4 sides, I'm like, no, because 460 just bursts too easily, man. They can make the tightest 460 possible. It's just a bad design of a ratchet. And we've literally seen, it's not even just the more amount of sides. Like 560 works pretty well and doesn't really burst that much because of the fact that they made it rounded off. So 460 got clapped. They need to release a new 460, call it 4-60. I'm tired of 460, man. I'm tired of it. I hate it, bro. I hate it. But in terms of like the whole gimmick of this thing, they say it's barrage attack. I've seen examples of barrage attack like Lightning El Drago, Blitz Unicorno. This is not really like it's a real type of gimmick. It's just if it has a good shape and it can do it. I'm going to be honest. So this is one of those kind of anime type of gimmick stuff. But the one thing also I'm still curious on is how these bays are going to work. Because we got super, super vague context from the Korokoro where, what was it, Common X made this bay for a powerful opponent. That's about it. And I think Bird, they just say that the stage is developing. I'm just trying to think. I'm like, are these bays evolutions? Are these just kind of like, because don't forget, Night Lance is not actually an evolution in the manga. Because what Multi says in context is that she's saying that she's evolving her skills because she's talking about adapting, and that's why she has Night Lance. Granted, we haven't seen her use Shield anymore, but also we haven't seen her battle that much, so we'll see. Because if she starts pulling up with Shield, right, you know, then I'll probably go with that. Because even in the site, they have separate stuff where it's, okay, actually, this is how we get the answer. If by the Mako Maiden episode, on the sites they replace Shield, I don't know. If they replace Shield with Lance, then maybe we could say, I don't know. I think she still has to have Shield. I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't think these are actual evils, but also, I could be just wrong. I could just be wrong. Also, we got to take a look at the 460. You know, oh, sorry. There you go. Now, in terms of color choice, it does look pretty good. In terms of the fact that it's 460, I do not like it. It's just they should. I don't like 460. I don't like 480, 470, 490, 450, 440. Any of the 4 sides, anything, unless they modify it to make it more rounded off. Or I guess if you heavily use a 460, which would be maybe the equivalent of that. Now we get to the next one. Rush. Okay, now here's the thing with Rush. Now, okay, so Rush is a little bit interesting because essentially what they did is they took, it's now less gears than the average one, which I think a normal bit has like 12 gears, someone can correct me on this, and this one has 10. And also the shape of the thing. So the thing is, one thing I don't know if I commented on this, it does have a smaller flat bottom than regular flat or low flat. So probably that was done for like balancing type of stuff, not just for the fact that it has a less of a gear ratio. But this should still, one, consecutively get the extreme line, either get an extreme finish or go through those hard hits. And because the flat has no indent, it should be still going decently fast. So I'm expecting a pretty solid attack bit. This seems like a pretty cool... This is actually something I think that is innovative for Beyblade X, where they basically kind of experiment with the idea of the amount of gears on like a bit, and they kind of play around with it. So I'm very curious, where does this go? Like defense, you could have it where there's more gears on it, so it's even slower on the extreme line. You know, that type of... And I genuinely like this type of stuff when they actually go through the effort of making new content and making it more interesting. Because listen, you know, eventually, once these months pass, the stadium's got to also have something interesting to interact with. So I will give them credit here. Okay, now the Shark Edge, I'm just happy that we got it, but I'm also just, I just wanted to, you don't know, I'm just not fond of green recolors, I'll be honest. There's nothing even against it. This is like pretty good value for the Shark Edge set, because you get a freaking, the prize blade. I just wish it was red. That's really it. I just wanted a red Shark Edge. When are they going to give me that red Shark Edge? That's really all that I want. I just want a red one, man. I'll even take the blue one that's the reverse color scheme in the anime. I'll even take that one. Yeah, again, really just more or less the same kind of criticism towards these recolors. Too much of the same color. This one I almost feel is almost too close to Night Shield's one, I think. But I also just think it's kind of weird lighting on it, because I remember seeing another render. Basic flat. This one, I think is pretty cool. Even though I still wish there was more of a balance on the colors here. This one is pretty sick. This is Night Shield. What is it? 580 taper. So, one, it's nice we got the 580. I like the purple on this and a little bit of the pink. I wish a teensy bit more pink. Maybe if it was on the ratchet. I don't know why they're even afraid to do pink recolors, man. Just do pink recolors or something, you know, and just mix it up from just the regular old purple. But I do like purple stuff, so we will take what we can get on here. And then after from there, what do we got? Okay, that's like that weird little side thing. Then, show me the 580. So, the thing is with 580, 580 is also not too bad. I like 380, maybe then 580, then after maybe 480. Yeah, I mean, again, and they're pretty much shown to be capable of being able to put prize parts. So, would there be anything I would want to change in this? Honestly, I would have given the Shark Edge maybe an orb recolor. I don't know. I like the idea of this, and this is something Takara told me is doing really freaking well. In the meantime, we're going to be just playing, just get to that taper. It's that they're doing constant reprints of new content, so you constantly get an opportunity to get something previously. Like, here's a chance for a 580, here's a chance for a 560. Viper Tail is pretty much all the prize blade, which is fair enough, but you know what I mean? Here, we're getting Shark Edge, which normally you probably wouldn't see that too common back in the day, where they're consistent on giving those prize blade stuff. So we really got to give credit here to Karatomi, because they're very consistent on this. And then after Hell Scythe is just the height thing, which I guess makes sense, I guess. I don't know, we kind of talked about this. Yeah, there's the Lance. What's the other one? Wizard. Okay, I guess we're just going to go through the gallery till I get to that DranDagger. I actually think, potentially, bold prediction, I think DranDagger might be the best attack stock for X. Just because of the rush bit. The 460 are the only thing throwing me off right now, so we'll see, but I think the shape is fine. I don't think the shape is exceptionally that crazy, but I think the shape is fine. Yeah, and we got the Shark. Yeah, that 380 is a little too close to the actual one. That better be more green than the other one, which is like more tealish. Yeah. Okay, well, in the meantime, I'm going to go reset the thing, and we'll kind of just go on like another general discussion type of stuff, but, you know, what are we feeling? The DranDagger set or the Hell Scythe? Oh, sorry, the HellsChain set. I'm not used to the new names, and I'm probably going to butcher the variants. If you had to pick a set between either of these, which would you be picking and why? I feel like I have to lean towards the Dagger one, no? I don't even think, the chain one's not bad, because chain you get the low flat, you get the lance and everything, so that's why it's kind of hard. I think these are kind of decently balanced. Decently. Like, you know, like, I don't think, like, if you pick one over the other, I don't think it's by too much of that amount, I would say. Purple and Orange Wizard and the deck sets are slightly different costs from the 3-on-3 deck set in July. Wizard went from 4-6. Oh, okay, that is true. So they did kind of... That is kind of funny, then. We got Dagger for sure. Do you think Wizard Arrow and Ice Shield's typing should be switched? Should it? I don't know, actually. No. If you mean just the blades, I would still say no. Probably not. But that is pretty close of a question, actually. I did have to think on it. DranDagger, yeah, because it has DranDagger, man. See, it has DranDagger, and it has Sharky, so it's already unfair territory. They should have given the Hell Scythe 3-pack set, they should have given it, like, I don't think we got many options. I mean, lances are pretty fair. They should have thrown, like, a Leon Claw or something, even a playing field, almost. I'm just wondering how much longer until they release a Left Spin Bay. I will say this for my answer. Just wait for it. Don't keep anticipating each month when it'll happen. Because you're going to end up just wasting your time. Just keep on guessing. Is it going to be this month? Is it going to be this month? Is it going to be this month? Listen, it's either they do it... Actually... I think the first Left Spin Bay for X will be a remake. That's going to be my prediction. Because if we're going to go by the fact the anime has to go until, like, what? The anime should be ending end of September, like, October or whatever. You remember when Longinus actually appeared, right? Longinus was, like, near the end of Burst for Season 1, so... You'll be probably looking pretty far if you get, like, an official mainline Left Spin X Bay, so... I think a remake would be first, actually. I just left the whites on DranDagger. That is fair enough. Green Shark and Purple Shield. Makes me want to get DranDagger set. Both Dagger and HellsChain. Fair enough. Dagger, because I like aggro. Again, fair enough. I think Dagger has too much going for it, because the Rush Bait plus Sharkage, too. Like, that's another win for it. It's not bad mouthing the HellsChain set. It's a very hard competition, almost. I think a sword to a dagger and a scythe to a chain is a downgrade. Controversy. You mean by the name? If you mean by name, then yeah, I would agree. Yeah, because I mean, it's weird, right? Because for shields, it's this. But then after lance, it's like this. And then after like sword would be like, you know, this. And like a dagger is like a smaller thing. And a scythe, yeah, okay. Fair enough. Okay. I guess it depends, right? If they have all three of their bays, and like, if they have, let's say there's a DranDagger, Drawn Swagger, Drawn Sword, right? And there's like 3 different variants of it or something, but they all use the variant maybe for situations, so then maybe. But if it is like, if they're literally evolving from it, then yeah, I do agree the namesake is a little bit off. Just waiting for a blue shark recolor. They gotta do that, or the Korokoro stickers for Stone Mont Blanc, whatever, and Strikehawk. Which I don't know if they have those names in the anime. I think we just know that they're their names, but I don't remember if they say the names. They should have gave Scythe a recolor Cobalt. Nah, I see, nice try there, buddy, nice try. You gotta... They probably won't do Cobalt Drake until, like... May. Because next May is the next Rare Big battle, so probably they'll wait till afterwards. Which probably would be really, really far, actually. If you think about it, daggers tend to be a rogue or thieves class weapon. I wonder if that plays into it somehow. Well, keep in mind, too, the whole namesake of this is kind of like the idea of, like, RPG weapons, kind of, so... That's kind of what they're going for, but I imagine they'll probably get to the Birch Problem, or maybe they go around it. They call them Strikehawk and Stone Ball in the anime. Okay, so then, I guess I didn't pay attention. I didn't get here, but it's time to see the full sense, but both of these look sick. I absolutely agree, my friend. If a Beyblade could do a collab with any series, what would you choose and why? Digimon for me. What would be a collab I would want to see? I actually don't even know. I don't know. That's a good question. What's a collab? I would say Hello Kitty as the joke. What is? Well, they would have to do a Hello Kitty Wizard Arrow, but I'm trying to think now. What would be one that's like realistic? What are like things that like Japan does a lot of collabs with? Oh, do Evangelion. That'd be funny. Do that. They have really cool color schemes for their stuff. That would be a nice one. That'd be a pretty good one, actually. I'm just wondering how sharp DranDagger's blade is. Seems not too sharp, actually. It seems less sharp per se and more thick. Seems more of a thick blade, like a repeated hit. If you were in the anime, what bay would you have, and what would be your blading style? That's pretty much what the 3D print is. Platinum, the Platinum 3D print that I have, and that would be pretty much the thing. Attack. That would pretty much be the same. That's literally like the whole point of that 3D print. That's pretty much what I would want for a bay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon? Actually, Pokemon probably would be pretty possible, but I don't know. What type of motifs would you want to see in X? I think something more on the fantasy side, like a pixie, like a fairy, like a hedgehog. I don't know. Actually, hedgehog's not even really fantasy. I just thought hedgehog off the top of my head. Do you think the character told me will create a Beyblade that you can control in the stadium without touching it? Well, unless you're Professor Xavier from the X-Men, I don't know if that's possible. That's way too advanced of technology. Or even if you control it with, like, your hands. There's something called Battle Strikers, which shout out Beyblade, by the way. I think did something kind of similar. It's a neat idea, but it's kind of hard to really do something interesting with it. If has... What? Did a Pro Series of DB... Bro, that's just a lot of a sentence to read. Katana Muramasa, that's my answer. Okay, so let's just go over kind of our plans now for the rest of this week. My schedule's nuts for this week. You're gonna probably see a mix of battle content, some combo stuff, and yeah, pretty much for the rest of the month. Just Viper Tail, Land Claw stuff. I'm gonna be having a big week break coming soon, right? So hopefully your boy can either get that Bay history done or get some other project done. All depends on how much work I have left. In the meantime, by the way, as I'm talking, if you are in Canada, right, and you are in this area, which you can basically just go see on the WBO page, check it out and sign up, because hosting a tournament. Yeah, but also, mallbase.com. No, but also the thing is, my Friday is going to be pretty busy. It's going to eat up part of my life, because Spider-Man 2, that sequel comes out, and that's pretty much what my life's going to be dedicated towards, for that escapism. Just to have something to enjoy this year for a pretty terrible year for me. So, we get something, eh? We get something, eh? Yeah, well, I'll pretty much try to... There's got to be one video project's going to come out that following week or by the end of the month. I'll do my best. I am playing on a pretty cool Halloween video. Yeah. And also, I will try to get out the testing stuff. I'm super, super busy to balance between my life, the channel, studying. It's not easy, especially now that it's like a lot rougher now since August. So I will do my best. I will do my best. From mallbase.com. Mallbase helps supports the channel, or you can be a channel member. Both of these help out the channel quite a bit, since this is helping for the investment for general life stuff, for equipment, and for future video projects. So yeah, that's pretty much it. For any real scoop stuff, I have to double check, actually. I'm not too sure if... I don't know for scoops. Actually, I'm supposed to be getting some pretty big information pretty soon, but even if I do, I gotta be careful. But I don't know if it'll be this month, but I think probably by mid-November, I should have some pretty big capital B-I-G stuff that I will be able to cover, hopefully. Like, very, very big. But I gotta be careful, because Karen told me ninjas are real. Okay, so I gotta make sure, right? Because if I step out of the home and they got like a little sniper on me, right? I gotta be careful. But that's gonna be kind of it for this live. I think we did pretty good. Shout out to everyone that showed up. Hopefully next weekend we can go a little bit stronger. And yeah, that's kind of it. I'm trying to do my best here to manage. So hopefully, you're able to enjoy the stream. Hopefully everything's going okay. Trying to do the best that I can. Anyways, take care, everyone, and have a great day, and see you next week. Bye.